I did it. I think. Let's see if it worked. If you can hear me. So, hello. I have new streaming software. It's same, but different. And trying to see if you can hear me. So when people come in, let's see if you find me. Can you hear me, Mum? So let's just see. I have one person watching. Can that one person type a message, if possible, and let me know if you can hear me? Not sure. Oh, yay. Yay! Thanks, Hannah. Oh, nothing like using new software that you can't. You need to kind of be in two places at once, so you don't know if it's working. So yay! So I've got two cameras back, and I hope that I won't get feedback. So hello, Steph. Hello, Andrew. It's my husband hopping in to say he can hear me. The problem is they can all hear me because we're in the same house. It's crazy. Thank you, Steph. So, right. Let's just wait for a few more people to pop in. Thanks, Mom. Nothing like family support. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. I don't know what the delay is on this system. I know when I was just using YouTube, it had quite a delay. So hopefully we won't have a problem with that. So let's try and switch cameras. And then I can show you what is coming on Friday in the newsletter freebie. So you might get distracted since you've got Wimbledon on TV. Totally understand that, Steph. I know my family were watching Wimbledon, as I used to say as a kid, until late last night. I really felt for them in that heat. We've had a ridiculously hot day today. I've had the flat in lockdown. So yes, right. Let's see what happens if I switch cameras. So let's do that. Ha! Yay, it worked. There's definitely a message or delay. Thank you, Hannah. So yes, but it all seems to be working, and that is the main thing. And we have no feedback and screeching because I've got two cameras going. So if you have signed up to my newsletter, this is what you get as a thank you for signing up to the newsletter. It's a 5x7 junk journal downloadable printable download, and it comes with pockets, these pages that you can put together in any order. Here's another pocket that I've put on here. There are some flowers that you can cut out. I haven't actually done anything other than add the pockets so long in this particular one. So this is what you get when you sign up to my newsletter on my website. Hi, Sarah. Welcome. And so what I've been doing is every month on the first Friday, I send everybody who's on my newsletter an update as to what's coming in the shop, and then the freebies. So this is the upcoming freebie. And the only way that you can get the freebies is if you have the newsletter or are in my membership. So the people in my Art and Junk Journal membership area get everything, including the freebies. So that is just a perk of being a member. And this month's one, you get the full A4 page repeat pattern. And then I've done that because on the other side is where I have printed all these bits that I have cut out to show you. So it's a 2-page. You could even use this as a printable to add as a page in your journal. There's so many ways you can actually use this, apart from doing it as a backing for the cut apart. So the nice thing is if you have used these, if you use these in a project on your, and they don't even have to be for art and junk journaling. I mean, these are just great tags. You don't have to print the second side, and you could use these as gift tags. So there's that, and there's this little one that's the same as this design, just as a little card front. And then we have the punch outs. So I always make sure that you add extra glue around here, but so that you can cut these easily. Most crafters have a 1.5 inch and a 2-inch punch in their stash. And so I've designed these so that when you punch them out, you don't get any edges. And of course, I like to ink everything. So these can be used as clusters on various projects. And then I have these little tickets. So I've got the roses that go horizontally, and then I've got the pansies and the irises that go vertically. Now, there is a video on how I actually got the center punch holes and so on. So you can literally actually pull them apart like a normal perforated. You can see a face in the light blue flower. Yes, in South Africa, we call those gesiggies, which is in Afrikaans, which is faces, little faces. So yes, gesig, they are called little faces in Afrikaans. So quite right, Steph. We're not seeing things. It's a known thing. So that is the freebie. So if you haven't already signed up to the newsletter, head on along because that's what's coming your way. Next up, we have bumper edition of what is heading towards the membership area and in my shop. So I wanted to just start off by showing you the difference between, let's have these facing the same way, photo paper and normal paper. So a lot of people, hello, Annalise, you found me. Oh, thanks for sharing, Sarah. I really appreciate that. Yes, we're trying to get the word out there. This is a whole new venture for me. This junk journaling, art journaling, printable thing. It's only my May and June were my first 2 months, so July is my 3rd month. So I just wanted to show you the difference when you print on photo paper and when you print on normal copy paper. There's absolutely nothing wrong with working on photocopy paper if that's all you've got. I mean, normal, not photocopy paper. Well, I guess that's what you put in photocopy machines, but normal printing, paper that we normally use. What I've got here is the matte koala 140-gram double-sided paper. So I haven't printed on the second side of this one yet, but you can, and that's what I like about it. So, for doing books and things like that, it's really nice to have paper that you can print on both sides. And that's why I like the 140 GSM, because it's nice and thick. You can see on the normal copy paper, you can see the ink right through. So that will, obviously if you're going to print on both sides, the ink will come through. So we have 8 different designs of what I'm calling rustic wallpaper. I'm very into shabby chic. And so this set is all very much in the grays, creams, and a deep red. So sometimes I've done the same paper just with a cream background. I'm not sure that my screen is even showing that properly. This is definitely more cream than that is. I'm wondering if it's a camera issue, but anyway, they're definitely two different colors and then a gray. And then we have, as always, the 5x7 journal. And for the membership area, they get the cover. So this particular cover I designed, I've actually printed on 180 GSM. So it has the simple inside of wood, painted wood, and then the back. So this cover is only available to my members, but this is available on my website. And I've had a lot of fun creating an endless grungy, rustic set of papers that you can work on with the same theme and the same colors, and it's entirely up to you how you add to it and decorate it. So there are 24 different designs of these pages, all of them unique. So what I've also done is I've actually got them printed at the bottom here. I have done them as full A4s. And so I've got 12 sheets of paper here, and I have printed them back to back. So this is why I said I absolutely love the double-sided paper, because it prints so beautifully back to back, and you're really not affected by what is on the other side. And the colors on this are so rich when you print them on the photo paper. The black almost looks like velvet. It's really, really, really gorgeous. Thanks, Annelise, for sharing. And yes, you can really see the difference, between the cream and the gray. Thank you. It's hard to tell on my screen what you guys are seeing. So the reason why I've got the different sizes, this is set up so that when you get it, there's a white border all the way around, and the pages are different sizes. So the odd pages are the 5x7 that you would cut, or it's 5x10, 10x7. And then even pages are ever so slightly bigger, so that when you print them back to back and you cut them out, you don't have a white gap if your paper pulls through slightly skewed. So, hi, Angela. Have I melted yet? Well, I bought a kiddie's swimming pool. You know, those little plunge pools for kids. I've been in it once today, and probably after the live, I'll be back in it, because yes, it's been 38. It's currently still 31. Yes, hot, hot, hot. So yes, so I've done these. You could fold these and make a journal just with these. I did get my new printer, so I can now print edge to edge. Yay! I am one happy designer. And just for fun, when I was printing out my paper, you can see here it's faded. I don't know, I had my printer is internet based. It uses the Wi-Fi, and something went wrong, and towards the end it just lost connectivity. So instead of wasting this piece of paper, I turned it over and I put this paper on, and I cut out envelopes. So the envelopes were in last month's freebie. And so I just printed envelopes on them. And here you can see that I have used part of the ephemera from the new pack, somewhere buried down here. There we go. And so again, that punched area, that when you punch it, that circle is slightly bigger than it needs to be. So you're left with just a little red edge. If you want to cut it by hand, well, cut it by hand. That's absolutely fine too. But I just thought I would show you a fun way of printing double-sided and then using your other designs as templates. And now you can make little envelopes for yourself that you can put in things. So I didn't glue that on purpose at the top. So now it's acting like a little seal. And I think, anywhere in these journals, these would work really, really well as add-ons. So everything is color coordinated to work together. Then sitting over here, this is for my members only. They get the add-ons of the butterflies and the roses. And then on the other side, they get the repeat pattern paper. So that is their special deal for paying me monthly to get the designs. Right, before I go on to these, I'm going to just go here. So when I was printing, I didn't realize that I had it set still to fit to page. So these tickets came out edge to edge, just slightly larger than they need to be. But I mean, I could still use them. But when I printed them out at the proper size, you can see they are a little bit smaller. And these I totally cheated and I cut on my brother Scan and Cut. So I have a nice pile of tickets that I can stamp on and use. And what I've also done with these is I have printed the wood grain page on the other side so that the tickets are not blank, but they're also not particularly patterned. So I can still add to this side. So yes, Annalise, these do use quite a lot of ink, but the printer that I have got is the Epson EcoTank, and it is incredibly economical. You can print pages and pages and pages of full color things, and it really doesn't eat much ink at all. So that was the tickets. Then we have the pockets. Now I've printed these on the thinner paper, the same as my pages, because I want to be able to fold them and I don't want them to be too thick on the page. You could use the thicker cardstock. And then we have the tags and things to go in it and the tickets. We have more tags. And again, I have printed on the back of these. So I have printed so that when you cut those out, you have something on the other side. So this is the wood grain that I've given in the full A4 pack. And these ones are nice and big, again, with printing on the back. Lovely big circles, again, with printing on the back. Now, what I've done here, because I've designed these so big, I wanted to show you what would happen if, instead of printing them full size, when you open the PDF and you go into your printer settings, you can print what's called 2 up, 4 up, 6 up, 9 up. And what I've done, that's exactly what I've done here. So here you can see the difference in scale between the circles and the tags. They're half the size. So you could even print them 4 up, in which case they'd be a quarter of the size. So I rather give you the bigger option, and then you can force your printer to make it smaller. So that is just a little handy tip and trick that I thought I would tell you about. And that is what's coming on Friday. But last week, when I did this live, let me just pull this out, I couldn't help myself using this little girl that I had purchased the photo of. She's just the cutest little thing. Let me just reach for her behind me here. I keep her safe. So if you didn't watch, there's so much reflection. I got this little girl. She is just the cutest little thing. And I've been collecting vintage photos of kids and people and families and so on for a long time. And so I've been wanting to put some pages together of what I call fake family. Found family, fake family. So yeah, I call them fake family. So I had used her there, and then I had just prepared this other little girl and this one for the live. And then I went on and I played with the next thing that's coming, which I will show you, but I must not rush ahead of myself, because here you can see off to the screen on the left is what I have actually now got as a printable. So I've got little boys and little girls, and they are just so cute. Some of them are quite serious, some of them are looking down, looking away from the camera. But I had a lot of fun putting these together as little characters that you can put in your journals and alter and so on. And then the third page that goes with this is a set of frames. So there are 4 frames that are identical. And I put my little girl, my favorite, and shouldn't have favorites, but I can't help myself. And these, again, I have fussy cut on my brother's scanning card. So the frame is designed to fit these. So they will then have a little white border. There is a little line in there, and the pictures are slightly wider. So you can cut that frame out, which is what I will be doing tonight, picking my fake family to use and use it on a project. So that is what is already available on my website right now. And then I have something that I really am quite excited about. So I've always loved light. My very first word as a child was light. And what I want to show you is I've been playing after last week, adding to my book. I hadn't done anything other than stamping through the masked area. Yes, Annalise, I'll happily let you know about the printer that I've got. I've got the really big one. It is quite expensive, but there is a smaller one that apparently also prints page edge to edge. I will get that one's number for you and let you know, because I have printed a ridiculous amount and the ink has not gone down much at all. So what we have here is my light bulbs, and I discovered that you can print on this clear plastic sticker back. So it's a clear sheet of stickers, and I can't even give you a brand, because in all honesty, this is the packaging that it arrived in from Amazon. It is got a white backing, and you print on the shiny side, on the clear side, and then you can cut them out. I've even tasted with my brother's scan and cut. Depending on the image, you can actually do the half cut like vinyl, and so basically you create your own stickers. And so what I've done is I have put these characters behind my light bulb. So I've got this paper pad by Studio Light. Here, my sample cutouts. And these you can just push out. They perforated, so you don't even have to fussy cut them. They're quite fun. So I've got the gentleman behind there. Then here I've got just the light bulb with the glowing filament, and there I've got the little girl from the set over there behind the light bulb. And I just thought that was such a fun way of adding things to a project where you can see through. So, oh yes, Sarah Lou. So Sarah's Creative Cabin is Sarah Lou on Facebook, if you are friends with her there. And so I like this because now she's peeping through the pocket that we made last week. And then as a test run, I was playing with these on this backing, and I found that the clear ones, so I have various options. If I go through here, these very clear ones, this is just printed on normal copy paper, tend to want to disappear on here if you don't put an inky background on them. But obviously, if you're printing them on paper and cutting them out, well, they're not going to disappear. But I have created 2 different versions of this one. You can see this one even has the blue outline of where my JPEG is, because that shows up a whole lot better than that on the, on the sticker sheet, on the clear sticker sheet. So we've got all sorts of different light bulb options, and I've had a whole lot of fun creating and inventing those. And then, so some are off and some are on. And yes, Sarah Lou, you and I both have an absolute love of light bulbs. I don't know. Well, as I say, my first word was light. So let's just show you how the sticker thing works. So what I've done, again, these are A4 size. And for those of you who don't know, this is A4. I'm going to turn it sideways so you can see it full on the screen. This is A4, which is smaller than the American paper. But if you print them 2 up, then they print smaller. I did them big again, so that if you've got an A4 project or big project that you want to use them on, you can print them full size, in which case they're huge. Or you can print them 2 up or 4 up, and then they get smaller and smaller. So what I've done to be able to work with them, I do suggest as you print them, which I learned the hard way because I'm new to this paper, when they print, pull each one out and let it dry. Don't just let it print and do its own thing, because as the next page is pushing itself out and this ink isn't quite dry, you get a couple of little shady bits that creep in there. I mean, I'm going to grunge things anyway, so for me it doesn't really matter. But if it had smudged right across the light bulb, I think I would have been a little bit bleak. But so I suggest when you're wanting to use these on this clear printable sticker, you need to print them at least the day before you want to use them. Yeah, like we all plan that far ahead. I know, I hear you. But I just feel you need to give the ink a good enough, long enough time to dry properly so that you can handle them like I am now, and they're not smudging or anything. To be honest, they don't smudge really when you've just done them within minutes. But to be, fair to the product, because it is plastic with a coating on, just give it a few minutes. So you can see I've been very busy cutting out a whole lot because we're going to play with those tonight. Can't resist it. So we've got some longer ones. Those ones, these ones can all go back in the pile over there. Now these ones, what I've done is I have prepared them this far so that I have cut right around the outsides, and then I'm going to take my craft knife and I'm going to what's called kiss cut. So I'm going to cut through the sticker sheet and not the backing sheet. Well, if you cut through the backing sheet, doesn't really matter, but the idea is that you create, then you can see I did it here for this sample. You create then, and I don't know if you can see those cut lines on there. Yes, you can. Hey, you create something that you can then fold like that, get the sticky bits down, and then you can pull this out from underneath your sticker and then it will lay nice and flat. So I will do a proper video on that as well. But this was just my test run, and then I've inked over the top. And what I did, because remember, this is plastic that is prepared to accept printing, so it will also accept your ink. So if you want to do these shadows around the outside, you need to keep your backing paper and then just use it as a mask. And you can see where I worked on it like that. So that is what I would do with these ones and these ones, for example. So there will be a video coming out on those. And that is as far as I got with this page. So that one is now pretty much finished. And now we're going to, with the last half an hour, so thanks for hanging around while I blabbered about my new babies. We're now going to play in this journal. And what I've been doing is I subscribe to Pink Monarch. She's another paper designer, and she puts out lots of videos on how to use stuff. And she has this pocket video that I watched, and I've done various options thereof. So you land up with a pocket here, pocket there, and a pocket there. And then I tried, well, if I did different angles and the pocket doesn't go right the way across, well, then we have a little bit more space. So I thought I'll just show you. Where's my samples from here? So look how cute if you take something like these tags and pop them. So let's start at the back, so you don't have to push them all the way in. And you can even have your ticket. So these are called stuffed pockets. And then you can add something there. And then you can add something there. So you can build lots of layers. And of course, then we can add another ticket. And you can put stuff on there. But how cute does that look? Just as a pocket that you can then now add to a page. So my idea for tonight is also to show you these. So I was playing around. Remember earlier I said if you set, so this is a 9 up. So this A alphabet thing is half size. So what I've asked it to do is to print 9 of the documents on one page. And for some reason, my computer, I don't know, the A is there because there it is. But when I printed this side, it obliterated. It obliterated the A. So, well, I'll just put something else there. So, and here I've printed 4 up. And I forgot that I had my printer set to print reverse order. So it printed the XYZ on that one, which is quite fun because that's XYZ is quite a nice saying. And so you can have different sizes just from one printable. This is the flower add-ons for the set. There are only 8 pages because that's all I needed for that particular design. And so I've printed it 9 up and it just leaves a blank. And then what I've done is I've turned it over and I've printed the full size of that on the other side so that we have the contrast of small with large. And I thought it would be fun to use that somewhere on here tonight. And what I want to do with the page that is double-sided, this one, I want to cut it out and I want to slide it through. So like we have the envelope going through here, I'm going to cut this out and make a little booklet that is going to go, let's see, let's have this one, because then that I can use for something else. And I need my craft knife and ruler. So we're going to pop a ruler across the bottom. I'm just cutting it out. I could have printed it edge to edge, I guess, but it also works when you print it fit to page. So that's the trick, getting to know your printer and what you can make it do, depending on what you have in your PDA and also what program. I'm just using the printing program to alter these. Thanks, Annalise. I see you saying remember to thumbs up. So I'm going to cut this one here. Make sure I'm straight-ish. Because that I can glue onto something. And now I have my little booklet. But of course we're going to ink. So I have a mixture of brown and black ink for this page, so it doesn't really matter, I guess, which I choose. Let's pop that out the way because these things shed. And then I have little round bits on my cutting mat that stain something later. So rightio. And now I can shove this through. I suppose I can ink there as well. Now I can shove this through and then we will have the fuller it gets, the harder it gets to shove things through the stapled bit. There we go. So now we have that for that side and that for that side. So we have B or B. Belinda Basson. There we go. Now, where to from here? I really like this pocket idea. And I have two versions because this one I used some striped paper. And I think I'm going to ink it a little bit more dramatically so that it stands off from the background. So I think we will use that and the new freebies. So we will pop those in there like that. And I think I had that one. Oh no, we can have that one going horizontally. So let's pop this one up here. And of course we can still have string and things. And then I have an offcut from this, which is quite nice and bright. It's brighter than that paper for some reason. It was a setting that I accidentally activated. That's what I mean by get to know your printer. So we can bring some of this color across here. And we can have, I want to use the light bulbs. Light bulbs and flowers. Well, why not? Because I want to have one of these people. I need to get some Tim Holtz people, I think, as well. I need a bigger selection of people. Let's have this lady in the light bulb. Kim, why are you struggling to come out? It's like most things that are perforated. Of course, it doesn't want to tear on the dots, does it? There we go. So we have her. And I had those little girls. So we might, depending on the time, end up doing two things. Because now my little girls have gone AWOL over here. Let's just see. I might just have her in the frame to contrast all this color. Maybe we can do that. That works. And then we can have one of these on here. Of course, she needs her edges done. To be able to use at least 3 of these on a page, I would have to print them with more on a sheet because these are definitely too big. Too big. Right. I'm wondering how to get some color in there. So I might bring my pencil crayons out, but for now, this is where I am heading. With some nice brightness on the grunginess. And how about we use one of the smaller light bulbs then? Because I think the big light bulb is going to disappear behind here. Maybe we can have it like that. That would also work. And then we can have, let's have the other light bulb on this side, because you know we like everything in 3s. Let's get the lady. I might have to move the pages around because let's see where the lady fits in my light bulb. Maybe she can lose the stick and just have her hand. Because then she will fit on this side. Yes. Okay. So let's start with the lady and her light bulb. So what I have found is if you bend the stuff with the paper towards you, and then you flick it a few times, the plastic goes back and the paper stays bent, and then you can get in there. It's a bit like using the foil, sticky back foil. Right. So now we need to pop our ladyship onto here. She's going to get a shortened stick. There we go. And now we're going to pop her hanging from the top. There we go. And now I need something to protect here. So I need a piece of scrap paper to protect that. I'm going to use the original backing, and I'm going to ink with black soot, bring the light bulb out. So make sure that it's no white edge gap. And need to be an octopus. And then you just ink it. So I'm just using this as my mask. Let's see what we've got. That's working quite well. I think we need some more at the top. So I'm going to pop it there and ink it. I've landed up with a gap, so let's try and fix that. There we go. So now I have my lady in her light bulb, and I'm going to have this light bulb on this side. And as I said, you bend it towards the paper side, and then you flick it a few times. And then the plastic goes back. The sticker paper is just the best invention ever. Because now you can turn anything into stickers. But I just thought sort of my head went to things that you could use like this to put behind something or see something through. Sorry about having to watch me struggle to get the plastic off, because now, of course, having told you that it's so easy, but you saw the first one it was. There we go. Right, and now I'm going to put this one at a jaunty angle. Should we have the bee in the light bulb? No, let's do it down here. There you go. And you see that one on the paler background, because I chose the darker printout to put on the clear, I actually don't feel like I need anything on there. And because I love the fact that it's shiny, so it looks like a light bulb even. Right, so let's pop this little stuffed pocket over here. And I'm going to use some liquid glue for that. I did make sure it was working before class. But in this heat, that doesn't mean anything, does it? Okay, so we're going to have this layer over there. And commit. And then, do we want two of the same? How about I split them? And we have that. This would even fit perfectly on there, but then that's a lot of that color. But then that one stays. Okay, so she says, changing her mind, as I do, because now we can put this one perhaps behind. If we push that in and have the color coming out there, I like that. We could also make this into a pocket and have stuff coming out. So let's do that. So let's glue those 3 sides and turn Madam's frame into a pocket. Just going to hold that while that sticks. Let's just see. I have this skinny light bulb. Maybe that one would work down there. Oh, I like that. You know I like 3s of things. So we're going to do that. So bend it towards myself. And then flip it back. And ding! So now we have this long skinny bit. And pop it on the edge of the frame. I know we said we're making that into a pocket, so I've just glued some of the pocket opening down, but there's enough there to be a pocket still. Let me just trim that off. And then we need to use this to ink around it again. I know it's a bit bizarre to have black shadow around a light bulb, but it is the light in the darkness. There we go. So now we have this light bulb and we have that light bulb, and I am frozen. Why am I frozen? My computer has crashed. Okay. My computer has crashed. I'm not sure what happens if the mothership goes down. If you can still... I can't see the chat. Okay. What am I doing, Mom? Am I flipping my page in the middle? Okay. I'll just keep going then. No, my computer has crashed. It's frozen in front of me, so I'll just carry on. Thank you. Right, so this should fit in there. Thank you. Hooray for home support. Okay, so we can have that sticking out there, and we can have, I think that's too much for there, so I'm going to put it there. And then I'm going to put this one up here so that when everything is out, you still have the color. And then I'm going to put my favorite little face over there. Okay, let's commit to that. So we've got the gesiggie, aka pansy. And we have the rose. So I intentionally did the rose horizontally. I mean, there's no reason why you can't put it vertically, but I intentionally did that. Let's have that over there. this needs gluing down. No, that's not glue. Okie dokie. So let's pop that one up there. Okay, so could we add any stamping to this? I feel like that needs some color. So I'm going to bring in my Mr. Holt's pencil crayons. I'm sorry if you are commenting. I can't see anything because, well, I'm frozen. And maybe I should just... I'm too scared to stop the computer at this point because it might just crash everything. But I think we need some pink over here. So what am I going to do with my pink? Am I going to do the frame? Yes, let's add some color into the frame. So I'm doing this piece here, kind of pink. Just to bring a little bit of color into this very strong black and white image. I think my computer's overheated. It's very, very warm in here. And maybe I keep trying to move this. Let me just clean this. It's, yeah, inked off the edge. I'll have to clean it properly later. But and what other color? Maybe I should bring in a little bit of the turquoise. Let's make the frame turquoise-ish. So that's the nice thing about a black and white image, is you can then color it up to be whatever you want it to be. So I'm going to go like so. There we go. That looks a whole lot better. And let's soften that bright white with I'm wondering, is that going to be too yellow? I'm just trying to bring the same colors from the page into this. There we go. I think that's a little bright. Let's just soften it slightly with a dark color. A little bit more warmer. It's a little bit lemon. That works. And let's see where else I can play with the pencil crayons. Let's have a blue bee on the side. And I'll do a pink bee on the other side. And then I think I'm going to call it done. I'm not even going to stencil or stamp on this one. And pink on the side, I said. I haven't tried using water on this photo paper with pencil crayons. I will do an experiment off air. But I think that is almost done. Because now this is quite full. So that's now got a whole lot of color. That's got a whole lot of color. And maybe I need a soft pink. Let's give her little dress or whatever this voile thing is a very soft hue of pink. I mean, you could really sit and color these photos up like vintage photos. That's another live all on its own. But there we have it. Some light bulbs, a pocket, a push through, another light bulb with my lady behind it, a stuffed pocket, and another page is done. That was lots of fun. So I am going to switch off my computer and switch it back on again. I might see me twiddling my thumbs while I wait for it to recover. But thanks for joining me tonight. It was great to have you. And see you Wednesday next week. For those of you in America, have an awesome 4th of July. Bye for now. So yes, I'm still here. Let me see what I can do from this phone. Even the phone is hot, my word. Okay, I'm going to put the fan on to cool my poor computer down. Okay, is that wedged in there enough? Not getting enough cool air in the important places. Oh, come on. Don't fight me. Right, let's try switching that back on. And yes, I'm still here. I'm tempted to give her some blush while I wait for my computer to wake up again. Should we give her some blush? Oh, she's so cute. Oh, that's getting quite. Is that shiny on the black? Yes. Okay, so we won't color on the black. We'll just finish off her face shape then. Oh, hello, computer. Now, where's my keyboard? Suitably weary. Oh, I am still there. Let's go in. Enter studio. Oh, that's ridiculous. Okay, so we're gonna say goodbye now. I can now see the chat. Okay. Pale pink cheeks. Yes. It should be red cheeks in this heat. Thanks for hanging around, people. And I'm going to say goodbye again.